The intention for today's class is I'm open and curious when there is change in my life. And change is applicable in any aspect of life. You may see change when you communicate with people, when you see the change when you eat. You may see the change when you walk, when you breathe. So change can appear on many different levels. Today, I would like to focus on change in diet. And it is important to be aware, to be open and curious what we eat and how it affects our body. For many years I have been trying different, I will call it diets. I used to be a meat eater. I used to eat meat when I was a child, but I always love and I always enjoy eating fruits and raw vegetables. And later on, I started observing how these meals affect my body. And I noticed that certain foods, certain products made me feel less energetic. And there are meals, for example, when I eat a salad, and then all of a sudden, after I finish that meal, I feel full of energy. So being open and curious when you change a diet, when you change a meal, or when you choose your food, and how each one of these products affect your body. Because I cannot expect to have a powerful meditation after having a heavy meal. I cannot expect to sleep well after having dinner late in the evening. So what I invite you to do is stay connected with your body. Be open and curious when you choose your meals. And once you become aware, you're ready for the change. The change that is good for your body at that moment. It doesn't mean that all of us have to be vegan. It doesn't mean that all of us have to be vegetarian. But there is wisdom within each one of us, and if we follow our bodies, if we listen to our bodies, we will know what is best for each one of us. And we will be energetic, we'll be full of energy. We will find balance and peace more easily. Be the change that you'd like to see in the world. So start the change with yourself. Be open and curious in every aspect of life. And I invite you over the next few days to focus on your diet. And that will affect other aspects of life. And let's begin the practice. Today we're going to start in seated. So find a comfortable seated position. We will set up the intention. And then we will continue with the practice. Find a comfortable seated position. You may take the flesh out of your sitting bones. Open your chest, open your heart, relax your hands. Relax your shoulders, tuck the chin in and close your eyes. And take a few deep breaths, in and out through the nose. Connecting with the body. Connecting with your current state, with the feelings, sensations, emotions, right now at this moment, if there are any. And just be open and curious. Observe. You may place your palms in front of your heart center. And let's set up the intention for today's class. I'm open and curious when there is change. I'm open and curious when there is change. You may relax your hands and you may open your eyes. And let's start our practice with a breath. Forceful exhale. So we're going to inhale normally and exhale. We want to pump out of the belly, of the lungs, all of the toxins accumulated over the years. So this is what it looks like. Normal inhale and exhale. You're pumping out and your belly will be moving back and forth. And let's begin. So inhale for 1, exhale for 2, and we'll do 20 of these. If at any point you notice that you don't feel well, please don't do it. Listen to your body. I'm offering something, but it doesn't mean that it has to be followed strictly. Your body knows what is your truth. Your body knows what is best for you. So if you'd like to try and explore, give it a try. And then if it doesn't work, forget about it. Relax your hands and let's begin. You may keep your eyes closed, your choice. Inhale, exhale, and let's continue at your own pace, 20 of those. And when you complete the cycle, just relax your hands, close your eyes for a moment, and observe. Observe your body. Focus on your belly. Focus on your breath. Do you notice any change in the breathing? And when you're ready, you may open your eyes. And let's begin with the warm-up. Bring your head over to your left side and look above your left shoulder. If you'd like to explore, you may continue moving your head over to the left. That will allow you to deepen the twist. And I invite you to become aware of your neck, especially the right side. Inhale back to center and over to the other side. And with each exhale, try to deepen a bit more the twist. Inhale to center, bring the head back, opening the front of the neck and looking up. Really stretching. Feel it, become aware. Inhale, head to center and bring the chin towards the chest. Inhale, head back to center. Bring your left ear towards your left shoulder. Slow movements. Bring the head over to the front, to the right, and back. Slow movements. How does your neck feel today, this morning, at this moment? This is what truly matters. It's not about the past or the future. We're living in the present moment. We're living in the present. We're breathing in the present. And if you notice any tension in the rest of the body, try to release and relax these parts. And reverse direction. And head back to center. Let's lift the shoulders up, up, up. And lift the arms up. So we are lifting, opening. And as you exhale, twist over to the left and look above your left shoulder. The tips of the fingers of your left hand are on the mat or on the floor. Inhale to lift and open, exhale to twist. Release the pose, lift your arms up and twist over to the other side. Keep your spine nice and long. Chest is open, twisting, looking above the right shoulder. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, left hand on the mat, on the floor, and the other arm is moving towards your head. Left hand on the mat, right arm moves down towards the floor. You're looking up. With each exhale, try to deepen, lower. Inhale, both arms up, and exhale over to the other side. One more time. Inhale, arms up, and let's try one more time over to the left. This time, if you'd like to explore and if you wish, you may lower even more and place your forearm on the mat. Try to keep the sitting bones on the floor at the same time. Inhale, both arms up, and last time over to the right. Eventually, you may place your forearm on the floor if your body allows you to do so. Looking up, and relax the tips of the fingers on the mat. Let's extend the arms wide in front, and let's begin with a twist over to the left. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to twist. I'm not moving my hips are pointing to the front. It's only the upper body, the back. And with each exhale, deepen your twist. Inhale to center, and exhale, twist over to the right. Inhale to center, and this time bring the arms back. We're not interlacing the fingers. Imagine you're holding a ball, and you want to lift the ball high, high, high up. Lift the ball even higher. What do you feel in your body? Where do you feel it? Be open, be curious. If you need to modify, do so. And relax your arms. Place the tips of the fingers on the mat, right in front of your ankles, and start walking your hands, fingers away from you. Moving from the hips. Try not to round the back, keeping the back straight, and lower down. Relax the head. And keep walking these fingers away from you. You may keep the tips of the fingers on the floor or your hands on the floor. How is your back? You're lengthening and stretching. And from here, let's walk the hands over to the left side. Walk the fingers over to the left. And if you listen to your body, you will know when to stop. Inhale to center, and let's go over to the other side. Inhale to center, and walk the hands back towards yourself. Let's place the hands right behind the hips, fingers pointing towards the hips. Open the chest and look up. Open your heart and look up. Try not to drop your head. Keep your head active. And back to center. Place your hands on the top of your laps. Bring the back backwards with the exhale. With the inhale, each time you open the chest, you're breathing in. Exhale back. Inhale to the front. Exhale. And inhale. And let's continue at our own pace. And last round to the back and to the front. And back to center. Bring your body over to the left, to the front, to the right, and back. And make these circles as big as possible. and try to keep your sitting bones on the mat. Reverse direction. And last round, and back to center. Let's continue with table pose. Table pose, knees and top of the feet on the mat, knees and hips aligned, wrists and shoulders aligned. A few cat cows. If it is too much to keep, you may, if it's too hard to keep the top of the feet on the mat, you may tuck your toes, your choice. Inhale, lift your tailbone, lift the head and look up into cow pose. As you exhale, find your cat pose and bring the hips back. Inhale into table, find your cow pose, looking up. Exhale into cat and bring the hips back. Inhale, table. One more time, look up. Exhale into cat and bring the hips back. Let's do 2 more rounds of these. Inhale, table, look up. Arch in the back and bring the hips back. Inhale, last round, table pose, look up. Find your cat and bring the hips back. And table pose. On the next inhale, let's bring the head over to the right and look at your right heel. At the same time, try to keep your knees and hips aligned. Inhale, bring the head to center and bring the head over to your other side, right side. Looking at the right heel. Inhale to center and over to the other side. One more time. If you're doing the right side, now is the right side. And to center and to the left. And back to center. On the next inhale, let's lift the right arm up and look up. It is up to you how high you're going to lift, and it's up to your body how high you're going to lift your arm. I invite you to open a bit with a twist your chest. As you exhale, release that hand. Inhale, lift the left arm up and look up, opening, twisting, and release. And on the next inhale, we're going to lift opposite arm and leg. If you have gentle knees, you may always fold the yoga mat or place a blanket under your knees. Whenever you're ready, right arm and left leg. Lift your right arm and left leg, keep them parallel to the floor. I really want to engage that arm and leg. I don't want them to collapse. I want them to be active. I'm lengthening, stretching, engaging my upper body. And I'm mindful of my left wrist. I really want to lift myself up and to lengthen. And release the side. Inhale, left arm and right leg, lengthening, stretching, and breathing at the same time. As if someone is pulling your arm and leg in opposite directions. And release. On the next inhale, lift only your right knee off the mat and start opening the hip by drawing circles. So you really want to make these circles as big as possible. Opening. Breathing. And how are your glute muscles here? Become aware of your glutes. How is your hip? One more round, one more time in this direction, and switch direction, reverse direction. And I invite you to become aware of the temperature of your body. Last time, and release the knee. Place it on the floor. Inhale, left knee off the mat. Start opening the left hip. And one more time, and reverse direction. Make the circles as big as possible. Give your body your best. Discomfort is acceptable. We don't want to keep it easy and simple. We want to change. Change means sometimes a challenge. The challenges are a great way to see how capable we are. And last round, and release. Let's find our puppy stretch. Walk the hands away from you. Bring the hips back. Lengthen your spine. The chest is pressing down. Puppy stretch. Breathing in puppy stretch. Inhale, walk the hands back to yourself. Tuck your toes in and sit on your heels. Let's stretch the soles of the feet. Remember, you have the choice to keep the soles of the feet on the mat and simply sit on your heels, or simply keep your hips off your heels. Whenever you're ready, let's begin with the right arm, fingers pointing down. We're working with the feet as well as the wrist and the fingers. Let's stretch each one of these fingers. Let's take care of each and every finger. Pinky finger towards yourself. Ring finger. Middle finger. Index. And your thumb. You may bring them all back, stretching the wrist, and shake that hand. How are your feet? Extend the left arm, pinky finger towards yourself. Pull the pinky finger. And release this one. Ring finger. Release. Middle finger. Index. Almost there. And your thumb. Bring them all back. And shake. Inhale, arms up, and exhale, hands on the mat, on the floor, and slowly start tapping your feet. And now you may start lifting your heels a bit higher, moving towards the hips. And eventually you may even touch your glute muscles. And relax your feet. Let's try one more pose. It's good for the wrists. Now please follow for this one the instructions strictly. The right hand is moving clockwise towards yourself. The fingers are pointing at you. I will repeat one more time. The right hand is moving clockwise and the fingers are pointing towards your knees. The left hand is moving counterclockwise and the fingers are pointing towards you. Left hand counterclockwise, fingers pointing towards you. And very slowly bring the hips back. We want to stretch the wrists. Be very mindful. If you're not sure about this pose, please remain in table. Stretching the wrists by bringing the hips back. And very slowly, let's release the pose. Right hand back to where it was and find your table, and the left hand. And we're ready for downward dog. The wrists are fine, the toes, the feet. Let's bring the hips back and lift the hips. First downward dog. Let's bend the legs at the knees and move the knees back and forth. Stretching the legs. Walking the dog. Let's remain still. And if we need to adjust the pose, remember the weight is shifted from the wrist back towards the heels. Eventually your heels may touch the floor. From here, you may bend the legs at the knees and walk the feet towards your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Release the hands, place the tips of the fingers on the mat. Inhale, arms up with a back bend. And release the pose. And let's try the first sun salutation. Go to the front of your yoga mat. Inhale, lift your arms up with a back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, look right in front, shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, hands on the mat, step back into plank pose. Plank pose, the whole body is aligned. I will invite you, two options here, two opportunities. You may remain for 5 breaths in plank pose. If you wish to try, you may lift your right foot just for a moment for a breath, and then you release it, and then we'll repeat the same thing on the other side. Inhale if you'd like to lift your right leg, your right foot off the mat, give it a try, and release that foot. Inhale, lift the left foot off the mat, and release. Let's stay for one more breath in plank pose, and when you're ready, knees on the floor, top of the feet on the mat, hips back, and slide and find your way into baby cobra pose. Baby cobra. How is your lower back? Become aware of your lower back. Press the hands down, find your downward dog. We will step forward with the right foot. If it is too much, you may first go into table pose and then step forward. Place the right foot in between your hands. Left knee on the mat, left foot on the mat. Let's find dragon pose. Place your hands on top of your right thigh. Opening the chest. It is up to you how much you want to lower and sink and open. If this is too intense, however, you always have the choice to bring the left knee closer to your right heel. And on the next inhale, let's lift the arms up. Relax the shoulders. You may look right in front or you may look up. You're sinking, lowering, opening. As you exhale, place the tips of the fingers on the mat. Bring your hips back, straighten that front leg. And as you move, as you're changing one pose, from one pose into another, be open and curious. Why is my body behaving in that way? What kind of care do I need to take? You may bend your leg at the knee. And now I invite you to bring both of your hands on the inside of your right foot and start walking the right foot towards the edge of the yoga mat. And if you wish to explore gecko pose, the right knee is moving away from you and only the outer edge of your foot is on the floor. And if you have gentle knees, you may always place something under your knee, a blanket, or you may simply fold the yoga mat. This is one option. For those of you who would like to explore or accept the challenge and you feel that you're ready for that challenge, you may place your forearms on the mat, interlace your fingers, and relax your forehead. And even if you find that this is not challenging enough, I'm going to offer a third variation. You may walk the hands over to the left and you may place the hands on the mat. Very powerful pose, but be aware. So you have these three options. Choose the one that is best for you at this moment. And let's remain in the pose for a few breaths. What is happening in my body when I'm here? Where do I feel the discomfort? And with each breath, just visualize bringing oxygen, nutrients to your body. And with each exhale, how you're releasing the tension, the stress accumulated in that particular part where you feel the discomfort. On the next inhale, place your hands on the mat if your forearms were down. Place the foot, the knee moves towards your body, and place the foot right in the middle. Press the hands down and we're going into downward dog. If, however, this is too much, you may first go into table pose and then downward dog. Remember your options. Each body is unique. Your body is different every single moment. It changes. And let's try the same sequence on the other side. Remember table pose and then step forward, or from downward dog you may place your foot right in between your hands, right on the mat, the top of the foot on the floor, and dragon pose, opening the chest, sinking, and breathing. And as one of my teachers used to say, don't sacrifice the breath for the pose, because with the exhale you're releasing. If you're not breathing, you're accumulating more stress, more tension for yourself. So it's much more important to breathe and to release rather than hold. Don't create more tension. Use this opportunity to release, relax, and bring more peace. Create more peace because you are the creator. You may lift your arms up, and as you exhale, tips of the fingers on the mat, let's bring the hip back and straighten that leg. Each side is different. You may find that this side is less flexible or more flexible. Be curious, be open and curious. How does your body behave? On the next inhale, bend your leg at the knee, place both hands on the inner side of your foot and start walking your left foot away from you. Left knee moves away from your body. You have the option to remain here. This is already enough of a challenge for some of us. You may place your forearms on the floor, interlace your fingers, and the third variation, for those of you who feel that they would like, and they feel that they're ready, you may place your hands over to the right, and the chest is moving down. Choose one of these three and remain in that pose for a few breaths. Inhale, lift yourself up, place the hands on the mat, foot right in between. Option, table pose, or you may tuck the toes of the back foot and step back into downward dog. Walk the feet towards the hands, ready for a halfway lift. Tips of the fingers on the mat. And now I invite you to grab your big toes with your index and middle finger. And try to pull yourself down. Try to lengthen. Allow gravity to help you deepen, to go deeper into this pose. Now, where do I feel it? Be curious about your body. Inhale, lift your arms up. The head is the last part of the body that goes completely up. Back bend. and release. And let's do one more round at a bit faster pace with some modifications. Inhale, look up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale into halfway lift. Exhale, hands on the mat, step back or jump into plank pose. Option to repeat the previous pose, knees, top of the feet on the mat, and find your baby cobra. Otherwise, I'll invite you to try chaturanga all the way down and inhale into upper dog. The top of the feet on the mat, knees on off the mat. And you may look up. But be aware if you're here, wherever you are, just be aware of your lower back. And from here, downward dog. Bring the hips back, downward dog. Step forward with the right foot in between. We will go into crescent lunge. You always have the option to keep the left knee and left foot off the mat, your choice. Inhale, arms up. And find your crescent lunge. A few options here. You may lower down and get a nice 90-degree angle around your knee area. You may also bring your your arms and upper body back, and you may look up. These are some modifications for you to explore and go deeper into the pose. Exhale. Hands on the floor, find your way to downward dog. Left foot right in between the hands. Right knee off the mat, lift your arms up and check this side. Exhale, hands on the mat and downward dog. On the next inhale, we're going to lift the right leg and the head. What do I mean by that? The right leg is moving back, the head is moving up. So I'm looking right in front. As I exhale, the knee and the nose move towards each other, and they may eventually touch. Inhale to lift and look up, and exhale, knee to nose. Inhale to lift and look up, and knee to nose. Let's do 2 more of these. If it's too much, please find your child's pose. Look up and reach. And last time, last challenge, and knee to nose and release. And let's try the other side. When you're ready, inhale, left leg up, lift the head, and look up, and exhale, knee to nose. Inhale to lift and to reach. Mindful moving, being aware of the sounds, of anything that happens in the body. Lifting and reaching. And 2 more rounds to go. And reach. And last time, lifting and reaching. And let's find child's pose. Child's pose, knees touching. Feet touching, arms by the side, relax your forehead. Connect with your breath. If you need a sip of water, now is the time. Relax in child's pose and focus on your breath. Focus on your body. Be curious about yourself. If there is a thought, become aware. Be curious about the thoughts. Why do I have this thought? What makes me think that? Be curious. And from child's pose, we will go into table pose. Table pose. And from there, downward dog. Bring the hips back. Downward dog. Walk the feet towards the hands, halfway lift. Tips of the fingers on the floor, relax the head. Inhale, arms up with a back bend. And release. And it's time for the balancing sequence. inhale, we're going to lift the left foot off the floor. And using the hands, you may place them on top of your shin. Try to bring your knee towards your chest. For this one, you may use a chair, a wall to help you a bit with the balance. When I lose balance, I deepen my breath. I listen to the sound of the breath, and that really helps me return back to the present moment. And the truth is that I'm using my breath not only when I practice yoga, but even when I'm teaching and I have this moment of losing the balance. Instead of reacting, I deepen my breath and I return back myself to the present moment. And then I just find that the breath really helps me to calm down. In the past, I used to have panic attacks when I was presenting in front of adults. And that was such a shock for me. And when I was able to focus on my breath, I just noticed what a huge change appeared in my body. I was able to calm, to relax, and return back to myself. And release the pose. Therefore, balance, working with the breath, is really important, not only on the yoga mat, but also in life. On the next inhale, you may lift the other foot off the mat. Bring your knee towards your chest. And deepen the breath when you lose the balance, or simply focus on an object. The main reason why I like working with the breath is because the breath is with me all the time. And I'm breathing in the present moment. Only here and now. You may bring the knee a bit closer towards your chest. Engage your upper arms. Engage your chest. And release this side. And I would like to offer some modifications for this pose. One more time, lift your left foot. And with the left hand, grab your shin. And now I invite you, you may remain in the previous pose as well, that's an option. But if you'd like to explore something else, I invite you to bring your right arm over to the right. And bring your left leg over to the left. You have option to look right in front or look over above your right arm. Balancing pose. And release this side. If you need to move at any point your ankles, go ahead and do so. Do what is best for your body. Take a good care of yourself. You know your body best. Let's try the other side. With the right hand, grab your right. Place your hand on top of your right shin. Left arm to the left, the leg over to the right. Gaze right in front or above your left arm. I'm balancing and I'm opening. And release this side. Let's try one more pose. It's called half moon pose. It is a good pose to try. It's a balancing pose, not an easy one, but at least you have the opportunity to try and experience. I would like to show you first of all what it looks like, and then you'll decide how far you'd like to go with this one. So first of all, we'll go into Warrior 3 and all the way down to the mat. And if you have a yoga block, you may place it under your hand. And we're going to lift the right arm up. And you may keep your gaze down or you may look up. So this is what the pose looks like. Let's give it a try. I'll guide you through this pose. As I said, it's not an easy pose. When I teach this pose, I invite my students to use the wall because that really helps, especially at the beginning, especially if you're trying it for the very first time. I will guide you through the pose and I'll provide many opportunities, many different modifications. So you don't have to go straight into that pose. So let's lift arms up and we will start with the left leg. So we're going to lift the left leg first. Lift your arms up and lift the left leg back and up. Warrior 3. And then all the way down to the mat. If you may place your hands or tips of the fingers on the mat, that's great. If you cannot, you may use a yoga block. Now, what I invite you here to do is you may remain in this pose. Option number 1. Option number 2, start opening the hips. The hips are stacking above each other, and you may start lifting your left arm up. Your gaze is still down. For now, the gaze is down. And whenever you feel ready, I invite you to slowly, very slowly start bringing the gaze up towards your left arm. Very powerful, very advanced pose, I would say. And release the pose. And all the way to standing. For this one, you really need to be focused. You really need to work with that power within. And let's try the other side. Inhale, arms up. And let's try to lift the right leg, finding Warrior 3. And all the way down, you may place the tips of the fingers on the mat. For some of us, this is a good place to be. If you'd like to explore a bit more, square your hips right above each other, and start lifting your right arm up. Your gaze is either down or up towards the ceiling, towards the sky. And release the pose. You may find that one side is a bit more balanced than the other side. That's completely normal. Each side is different. And we're ready for the seated sequence. Let's continue with the seated sequence. Chair pose. Find your comfortable chair. Sit on that invisible chair. And all the way down to the floor. And let's try boat pose. On the next inhale, lift your feet and keep your arms by the side. And let's remain in this pose for 10 breaths. Inhale, exhale for 1, inhale, exhale for 2, and let's keep it for 10 breaths. Look at your toes. Say hi to your toes. Connect with your toes. 5 more breaths to go. You may bring the knees a bit closer towards your chest. That may activate your abs a bit more. And relax the feet, give yourself a hug, close your eyes, lengthen the spine. On the next inhale, open your eyes, lift your feet off the mat, straighten your legs, and look up. Remember, you may keep your legs bent at the knees. I'm offering different variations, but you are the creator. For this pose, I invite you to keep your spine nice and long. Don't round the back, keep your back active. And keep lifting these legs, if possible, off the mat. And release the pose. Give yourself a hug, close your eyes. And on the next inhale, reaching for the big toes with index and middle finger, shifting the weight back towards, moving back. And when you're ready, start lifting your heels. Even if you lift them just a tiny bit, this is progress. You are in the pose. And slowly and steadily, you'll start lifting a bit higher and higher and higher, and eventually you may be able to straighten your legs. And release the pose. Keep your feet on the mat, arms by the side, and breath by breath start lowering down until you're eventually on the mat. We will try one more pose that is good for the abs. On the next inhale, I invite you to lift your legs up. You may keep your toes pointing up towards the sky, or flex or keep them keep your toes parallel to the floor. On the next inhale, I invite you to place your hands on the back of your head, and the elbows are pointing up. If you wish, you may remain here. You may also keep your legs bent at the knees. This is an option. So what we will do is, on the next inhale, we're going to lift the head off the mat, and the right elbow moves towards the left knee. Lower down, and on the next inhale, left elbow to the right, and down. Keeping these elbows pointing up, and over to the left, and down, and to the right, and down. 3 more rounds. Inhale, over to the left, and down, and to the right, down. 2 more to go. Inhale, lift yourself a bit higher, and down, and to the right, and down. And last round, over to your left, and to the right, and relax. Place the soles of the feet together. Let's try butterfly pose. And using your hands, bring your feet towards your chest. You're opening the hips. So we're giving some rest to the abs and taking care of the hips. Release this pose, place the feet on the floor, and the next pose is bridge pose. If you may grab your heels, if not, simply keep your hands on the mat. On the next inhale, let's start lifting the hips off the mat, the belly moves up towards the ceiling. You may adjust and bring the shoulder blades towards each other, and that will allow you to lift yourself a bit higher. And check if you may relax your glute muscles here for a moment and see how that one works. Still breathing. When I did my yoga training, my yoga instructor asked every participant to remain in this pose for 20 minutes. We're not going to stay for 20 minutes. We're almost there. And exhale, lower down, and bring the knees towards your chest and give yourself a hug to massage the lower back and gently move from side to side. Almost there, Shavasana is coming. And stay still for a moment. Place the feet on the mat. Place your right ankle on top of your left thigh. And start bringing the left knee towards your chest. I'll repeat one more time. Right ankle on top of the left thigh. And start bringing the knee towards your chest. You may place your hands on the back of your thigh and start bringing, use your hands, bring the knee closer and closer to your body. And in this pose, the left knee is moving towards the chest, the right knee is moving away from you. release the side, both feet on the mat. Inhale, lift your left foot. Place the foot on top of your right thigh, really close to your knee, and start lifting the foot and bringing the right knee towards the chest, hands on the back of your thigh. Right knee moves towards your chest, left knee moves away from you. And be curious, be open. Where do you feel it in the body? Release the side, both feet on the mat, on the floor. On the next inhale, last pose before Shavasana. Bring both knees towards the chest and over to the left. Arms at shoulder height. Your gaze is above your right arm. And try to relax in this pose if possible. Inhale, knees towards the chest and over to the other side. Look above your left arm. Gentle spinal twist. Last pose before Shavasana. Inhale, knees towards the chest and all the way to Shavasana. Extend your legs, arms by the side, chest is open, and allow your body to sink into the yoga mat, to completely connect with the yoga mat and to relax fully. And I will guide you through this final pose, and I will be in seated. Keep your eyes completely relaxed. And I invite you to bring your attention to your toes and relax your toes. Relax your feet. Relax your ankles. Relax your shins and calves. Relax your knees. Relax your thighs, your glutes, your hips. Relax your belly, your abs. Relax your lower back, your chest, and upper back. Relax your shoulders, elbows, wrists, and hands. Shoulders, elbows, wrists, and hands. Relax your neck. Relax your chin. Your cheeks, your eyes, and your forehead. Relax your entire face and your entire head. Relax your whole body from the top of the head down to the tip of your toes. I relax my body. I relax my body. My body is relaxed. I relax my body. I relax my body. My body is relaxed. And very slowly deepen your breath and become aware of your body. Become aware of the parts that expand and contract. Move your head from side to side. Wiggle your toes, your fingers. Bring your arms overhead and give yourself a nice morning stretch. Knees towards your chest, give yourself a loving hug and rock from side to side, left to right and right to left. Roll over to your right side and pose there for a moment. Give your body some time to adjust, to prepare for this new beginning. More peaceful, more balanced, happier, and joyful. And when you're ready, press the left hand down and find your way to seated, comfortable seated position. Either legs crossed, in easy pose, lotus pose. Keep your eyes closed. Palms in front of heart center. Connecting with the beauty within, connecting with the magnificence within, connecting with your divine self, connecting with the diamond within. Speaking from the heart, thinking from the heart, and acting from the heart. Let's bring the thumbs between the eyebrows and repeat mentally, let my thoughts be kind, and send a few kind thoughts to yourself. Thumbs closer to the lips and repeat mentally, let my words be kind, and send a few kind words to all of these yogis who practice this morning with you. Thumbs closer to your heart and repeat mentally, let my actions be kind, and do something kind for someone who you love and care for when you have a chance. May all beings be happy. May all beings be free from fear and negativity. The divinity in me bows to the divinity in you. Namaste. We will practice mindfulness. If you'd like to join me, please stay with me for another 5 minutes. Mindfulness. Today we'll be open and curious about the thoughts. We will remain still and quiet for about 2 minutes. And I invite you to become aware of your thoughts. Just an example. I have a thought about, let's say, lunch today. What does this thought try to tell me? Does it mean that I'm hungry? Or I'm just curious what someone will prepare for lunch, or what I'm going to prepare for lunch? Or I'm complaining about something that I don't have in life. What does it mean that? Be open and curious. I'm judging someone about something. What makes me judge? Is it something in me that I don't see in myself, that I don't value in myself, and that's why I see it in the other person? I'm judging the other person for something that I don't have. So be curious, be open-minded. Or another example, my heart beat is very fast. What does it mean? Am I under stress? Do I need a break? Do I need some rest? So wherever, these are just a few examples. Be curious about your thoughts. We're going to focus on the breath. And the moment there is a thought, be curious, be open. What makes you think in that particular way? And let's begin the practice. Find your comfortable seated position. Open your chest, relax your shoulders, hands on your knees, on your laps, and focus on your breath. Be curious, be open. Let's close eyes and begin. And whenever you're ready, wiggle your toes, your fingers, move your head from side to side. Keep your eyes closed, rub your hands, place your palms on top of your eyelids. And whenever you're ready, open your eyes. Be open, be curious. Whenever there is a change. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for practicing with me. Thank you for taking care of yourself. Namaste, everyone.